Welcome everybody today. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Let's just go ahead and get started because we have people to introduce and plenty to talk about. But my name is Rican McGusty, aka DJ Big Reeks. I own a company called the Waxaholics here in Houston. Been DJing for about 20 years. And you know, as I've been DJing, giving back to the community has been something that has became more important to me. And, you know, I started working on a nonprofit, and then I've come across some really cool people, and like, you know, things have been going great so far. So I want to get to you guys, and let's introduce ourselves. I would say, let's do ladies first. So
I am LaToya Pitts, co-founder and executive director of Carson Parke. And I have been with Carson Parke, of course, and obviously from day one.
Chester, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll get to that.
I'm Chester Pitts, and I am the founder of Carson Parke. We are a residential treatment center that cares for young girls between the ages of 12 and 17. Most of our girls are, I don't want to say CPS kids, but most of my girls are CPS kids, are wards of the state. I have a few that have some joint conservatorship with their parents, but all of my girls have had a rough go somehow, some way, be it emotional trauma, be it physical trauma, and different types of abuse that exist out there. And we're just here to serve the young ladies and give them a shot and give them an opportunity to be more in life.
So what was, you know, what was the passion in the beginning to, you know, to begin this organization? You know, was it something you guys came up with collectively, or?
You want to take it or you want me to go?
You like to talk, so I think you should go.
Do you want to answer it, honey? You can answer it if you want to. So back in 2008, was it 12 years ago now? Wow, it's been a long time. The original thought came into my head to create some form of a nonprofit and a give back while I was actually, you know, had all my cartilage and I could still play football.
Right.
You know, things change quick. So my wife and I created the Chester Pitts Charitable Foundation. And
right.
that foundation's original mission was to bridge the gap between kids with access and kids without access, and doing our best to combat the budget crunch that was eliminating all of the arts programs in public schools. So
Right.
we would, you know, so we took groups of children to the symphony, to just different performances, the ballet all throughout town. We paid for musical instruments. We got musical instruments repaired. And that was really kind of our focus. It was making sure kids that did not have access had access to the wonderful world of fine arts and culture. So that was the original baby. And
Right.
we had that, you know, we had that baby for 9 years? And then that baby got all grown up. And I sat down with LaToya and I told her that I love what we're doing, but I believe that there is more that we can be doing. And then, you know, my good friend, the Google search engine was in front of me, and we just literally scoured the internet asking the query of greatest need for kids, how to help kids. And foster care kept popping up.
Right. Right.
You know, as we dug in and did some research, we found out really quickly that the entire landscape of foster care in the state of Texas, you know, depending on who you're asking, it's somewhere between 50 and 75,000 kids. Well, one couple, that's a big apple, you know, big apple to take a bite of.
Right.
So as we dug deeper into foster care, the kids that had the needs for a residential treatment center was only about, it was right around 10% of the population, between 5 to 10% of the population. And we felt like that was a great opportunity for us to come in and affect and make change. And then we started that process, wrote the business plan, went through multiple iterations of it, did our homework. And then we looked at where we felt like there were holes in the systems, or where there was, where there were the cracks. And we've tried to fill that and create that void. And ultimately, that's where Carson Parke was born.
Quick question, LaToya, obviously, Chester, you were playing football for the previous years, and, while this started. LaToya, what was your previous responsibilities as an adult? I should say, or job.
I like how you phrased that.
Thank you.
So at the time, while he was playing football, I was a stay-at-home mom majority of the time, but then I also, of course, with a little bit of help from some other people, I did run the Chester Pitts Charitable Foundation. And then I also was in control or oversaw some of our other investments that we had, just to make sure, like Chester was out on the field playing, I made sure that everything else was taken care of at home, and just our little business ventures on the side.
So now you guys are doing this full time. You are running your foundation, and also tell me about the name. The name of you guys is Foundation Carson Parke. Where did that come from?
Go ahead, tell them, honey.
Okay. So we were trying to, of course, figure out a name for what is now Carson Parke. And one day I just posed the question to Chester. I said, "Where are you from?" Carson. So when you think of Carson, which is in California, what do you think about? I think about family, I think about home, just safety, that's security. And I said, that's what we need to call it. I said, Carson, because you think of home. Kids want a home. And that's what you think of because that's where you're from. And then, of course, Parke, I said, well, let's put Parke, of course, put the E at the end to make it all fancy or cute. But when I think of parks, especially growing up, it's where kids are. They love to play. It's a safe place for them to play, a safe haven. And so that's how it came together, Carson Parke.
Nice. I like it. I was wondering about the E. You answered that.
Yeah, just to make it cute. No significance of why, but it just looks better that way.
Yeah, it does. I like it. I love it.